This is Cube Speaks podcast with your cube truly, Wavy Davy, where we have tough conversations and we get straight to it. For my new listeners, don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Now, with further ado, let's get straight to the intro.
And welcome to another episode of Cube Speaks with your cube truly, Wavy Davy. And welcome back. Shoot, last episode went well. Well, to me it did. Got me a new mic. I don't know how this is gonna work because I talk with my hands too much. So different format. I'm trying different things. See what I like to do. See what looks better. See what quality looks better. Just trying something new. But anyways, I like to get straight to it. Just want to tell y'all, update on the deer thing. I've almost hit like almost 5 deers in the amount of a week. So yeah, hitting that deer a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's just coming back and forth. I think I'm just gonna stop driving. I'm just gonna bike everywhere. If it's a 2-3 hour drive, I'm just gonna fucking take a bike at this point, cause there's deer fucking everywhere. So that was just my little thing to talk about right now. Let me get into our topic. So this week we will be talking about mental health. This is one of those important topics for me right now. So I just feel like, why not the second episode? I just feel like it's something that needs to be done, something that needs to be said, and we gotta get straight to it. With me dealing with mental health myself and figuring out about it when I got older is just a little different. I think we just need to have this conversation. So the younger generation, the older generation, whichever generation needs the help, we just need to be able to touch it. So, and that's why I feel like, I see more podcasters talking about it. I see more of the black community talking about it. I feel like we have more of a community that is starting to take it serious, which is really good. And I'm really glad. I don't know what the hell this is on my chair. But anyways, I feel like we're finally getting to a point of, we're starting to take it serious. And that's step one. Step two is educating. Educate. And one of the letters on Cube, E, educated. Like, at the end of the day, we really need to be educated on everything that we're doing and everything that's around us and everything that we're partaking in. So this is one of the things that helps us out as people, because we're more acceptable for mental health issues and illnesses and diagnoses, and we're real acceptable to that because of the places we either come from or the things that we experience in life due to who we are. So I will touch on a little bit of that when we get more into it. But so I wanted to bring some stats. I was going back and forth, and I was like, you know what? Forget the stats. Like, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. I just feel like anybody needs it, whether you're red, white, blue, purple, turquoise. Anybody can use that help. And I know a lot of people want to make money. I know I want to make money. I want to make generational money. I want my grandkids touching the money that I worked for, or made a business for, or whatever the case may be. I want my kids to be able to get some of that money, or a house, or something that we can keep in the family. Like, we need to start thinking generational instead of thinking short term. Like, it's nice to have nice stuff, but when you in that coffin, that stuff don't go with you. So let's make some stuff that benefits the people that you say that you love and care about. Like, let's start turning this train. Like, we're getting to a point where this generation is so monumental when it comes to inventing things, or inventing different ways of doing things that we've been doing the same for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's starting with behaviors. We got to start changing these behaviors of how we're thinking. And the only way of changing your behaviors is being able to identify the behaviors that keep you from getting where you need to be. And therapy is one of those choices that, not everybody is acceptable to because of how we look at it. But at the same time, it can help to a degree depending what your motivation is, and I'll go a little bit more into that when I actually get into the topic. I think I'm gonna save my therapy experience till the end. I don't want to throw mine out there and then it get very opinion based and everything like that. But yeah, we're going to dive deep into that. Therapy must. Uh, for our community, I feel like our must are we have to deal with somebody that looks exactly like you. I think that's where we start off, and that comes from encouraging people to go to school for medical degrees, to be a psychiatrist and be a therapist. Some people don't even know those are two different separate things. And you need a psychiatrist to get you to a therapist. It's like a scouting report in sports. You got to know who you're dealing with, so you know how to deal with them. Same thing. So, I think that's more of it too. We need to start talking about it as a community of like, let's go ahead and start making resources for ourselves and get ourselves in some places where we can see ourselves there. And it'll make it a little bit easier to transition when we start seeing more faces. It makes it more comfortable. And right now, we just don't feel comfortable because of the division of what's going on around us right now. So, that plays a big part into it, of comfortability. And you want to be able to, if you're going to therapy, if you're going to a psychiatrist, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to feel like you're being judged, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be judged for their problems, and especially from somebody that don't look like you. But like I said, this is everybody conversation, but I'm mainly focusing towards what I know and who I am, and just experiences and people that I've talked to of what I look like. I mean, I suggest therapy for anybody, but this is my people conversation right now. But I feel like that plays a main part. That's a must. And the second must is you have to have a motivation to be able to go out there and partake in therapy, because therapy is not what people think it is. It's not somebody telling you what to do to magically make your life perfect. You still not going to be perfect, and it does not happen overnight. You will still have moments where you dip into the same person. So it all comes in with your motivation to change, because you can go into therapy with no motivation to change and you are not going to do shit for yourself. You're just sitting there letting somebody tell you what's going on, and then it's just talking to a brick wall. That's a waste of your money. And therapy is expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it when you put the time and effort to try to make yourself better. But that comes with the next point of what is gearing your motivation. And some people get this misconstrued with spouses and just certain reasons they want to do things. They want to make more money, or just material outside sources. It needs to be a change for you. And if you believe in a higher power, I know I believe in God. If you believe in God like I do, you just got to make something that is very worth it to you, that it makes you motivated. It makes you motivated to be a different person. And just pushing yourself to an uncomfort zone. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable talking to somebody that you don't know about your problems. You got to be uncomfortable, and that's step 4. Step 4, you got to be uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable. That first week's going to be uncomfortable. That second week's going to be uncomfortable. Shit, the whole time you're in there probably uncomfortable. But my uncle always told me, when you're complacent and comfortable, that's usually when shit happens. When you're uncomfortable, that's when you push yourself into better places. And I remember him telling me that before I quit one of my residential jobs. And, just realized, like, you know what? Like, I was too comfortable. I was too comfortable in the same rotation of just going through bullshit after bullshit and just not doing anything about it. And, at some point I had to do something about it. I had to get into a better space, and, that just worked on my life. But, like I said, I'll put all the personal shit towards the end. But you gotta be uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation. It's an uncomfortable place to be in when somebody is focusing all their energy on you. But at the end of the day, like it helps out, and having somebody that is an unbiased opinion. Most people think it's unnecessary, but at the end of the day, having an unbiased opinion is very beneficial, because it might be it might be a type of thought that somebody might actually have that you'll never think of, or people around you won't think of because they know you, or might not want to say it to you because they know how you're going to act to it. So at the end of the day, getting an unbiased opinion is sometimes beneficial. um the next kind of importance you need is knowing what you're getting into, knowing your purpose, and knowing why you're there. Because if you're just in there just talking about things that don't matter, and just your regular day and everything like that, you're not helping yourself. Have a conversation like it's something that ain't nobody heard before, or something that's been popping in your mind. Talk about your dreams, anything. Talk about something that you really believe in every day, and that doesn't have to be the whole conversation, but pick one topic a day you want to get into, that you want to learn about. But it takes you right back to that step of being uncomfortable. You really have to be uncomfortable to really put yourself in a position to be successful when you're going to therapy. There's some things to just kind of think about, and understand, and just come to peace with yourself. I would just say, at the end of the day, before you go in there, be in agreement with yourself of where you're at with it. If you don't think you're ready yet, take you some time before you are ready. If you think you're ready right now, go ahead and make that appointment as soon as possible. It's just, don't hesitate. um don't hesitate. Go out there and go get what you need, because it makes wonders. It makes wonders, makes difference. I've heard success stories. There are some failure stories, don't get me wrong. The failure stories, I could usually pick out one reason it might not have worked, or just kind of, like I said, motivation, reason, being uncomfortable. Some people get uncomfortable and just what, they don't understand me. And it might not just be they don't understand you. That might not be the right therapist for you. You can go to a therapist. You can go to a therapist like you go to a barber. Once that barber start getting shaky, you gonna go to the next barber, right? So the same thing. If he ain't taking care of your hairline, you got to go to the next one. If they ain't taking care of your mental state is the most important thing, especially for my black men. That is your most important thing. If somebody's not taking care of that, you got to go. Um, but it's just kind of that same thing. Like it's like picking the perfect car. You gotta find out your budget. You have to find out what you like, what looks nice, what color. Does the rims match the car? Does it have all the packages that you want into it? That's the same thing you do with a therapist. They have plenty of websites now where you can go on there. You can put all the details of what they special in. If you feel like you got depression and you want somebody that specializes in that, boom. If you have somebody that emotional spending, they got people that specialize in that. It's more of doing your research, getting your education. And I'm not saying go out there and just go book the first therapist you see. No, go do your research. And if you don't know how to research, go ask your friends. Hit me up. I know all the things. I did my research for a long period of time, and there's a lot of options out there. Insurance, government insurance, with whatever type of situation you're in. If you want to pay for it in cash, you want to pay for it in credit, there's places for that. They have therapists that they recommend based off of your situation. They've made it so easy where all you have to do is go in, put your information in, and they will go find somebody that matches you. So if you're not doing that, or you're not doing your research on it, start looking. Start looking. Start start doing whatever you need to, because they put us in another lockdown again, and how people was going back down mentally it's going to be beneficial, because I know a lot of people didn't make it out of that pandemic. Not saying dying or anything like that, but didn't make it mentally out of that pandemic. I lived in a place where when the pandemic happened and everybody was supposed to be in their house, they outside of their house, they robbing because they losing their damn mind. They robbing, they killing, they, you know, tearing up their house from the inside out. It's just like because a lot of people weren't comfortable with themselves or comfortable in the thoughts that they possess. But, you know, that's certain things that they either don't talk about or they bottle up till it explode. I feel like a lot of people exploded during the pandemic. When we got locked down in the house, I feel like a lot of people snapped. But that's because you're not taking the proper care of your mental health. And like I said, mental health is not just somebody telling you what you need to do. It's outside of that. Because if you don't have the motivation, you're not doing the actions after, which brings me into my next topic is you have to put those actions to the words that you're learning in there. You can't just have somebody tell you what you do, then feel good about yourself, and then get into a point where you're not putting any action. Because if you're not putting any action, that's like putting water in the car and think it's gonna go. Like you didn't listen to anything they just told you. They told you to put 95 in there because it's an expensive car. Like that type of mindset of just blatantly just doing something so it makes you feel good, and then you can sit there and post it up on your Instagram and say, "Oh, I'm going to therapy." No, this does not do nothing for you, and it does not make the situation of that conversation better, because then when you go act the hell out 5 years into therapy, and it's still the same thing from 5 years ago when you was 18, from when you was 20 or 23, when you supposed to be learning and progressing and doing that thing. Is just it doesn't help. It doesn't help for certain people, and it's a waste of their money and time. So when you get to, we went to therapy. These are my steps to get me to where I need to be. If your therapist tells you you need to start writing down in a journal, start writing down in a journal. It might be weird, it might be old school, whatever that, but at the end of the day, you need something to vent out to. If you're not venting out to nobody, that is not good for your health. Not good for your health at all. The action's a big portion. And like I said, motivation puts that action. And if you're not putting that motivation to that action, you're wasting your money, bud. You're wasting your money. Ooh, shit. Yeah, I'm gonna start a new one. And we're back. Yeah, technical difficulties. Whole damn camera fell, but we still rocking. We still on our conversation. Actually, I need to find my glasses so I can get a little serious with y'all. But can't do that right now. Don't know where the hell they at. Oh yeah, here they are. So get a little serious with y'all. And I don't want to make this a race, or not a race thing. I don't want to make this a gender thing. I don't want to make this like this is black men need to do this, black women need to do that. It's just like both sides need to go. I feel like there's a lot of hurt behind both sides, and a lot of not understanding each other. And I feel like that comes from past experiences that are never talked about. or current experiences that are never talked about. And there's people that's occurring trauma every day that comes from either the opposite sex or comes from just shit they just walking down seeing every day, or stuff they didn't live in a house with. And this is why I'm starting to believe this is getting important. I'm seeing it work with me of some of the things I've seen as a kid, or some of the things I'm experiencing as an adult, and starting to understand why you have that type of feeling to that. And I think if a lot of people start understanding why they have certain feelings, especially when it comes to traits that translate into a relationship, I think that's when that understanding comes together, when both sides know what I'm not going to say bad habits, but what things can be changed and worked on to help those relationship traits. Because we've had years and years of bad examples of relationship traits. Just look at these generational movies. You could watch a whole day of 90 movies and just watch how bad they treated women or men, or however way you watching the movie. Or you can go to the 80s, the 70s, and you could just see the difference. You can see somewhat of a difference, but it's just like that tradition still got passed on. It just looks different now. We got cameras and phones and stuff like that. So now you can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, you can go on TikTok, and you can find something that you shouldn't be seeing, something that could be possibly traumatizing how many viewers it gets. And if it gets 5 million, and we're gonna say 1 million is who that race, gender, or sexual orientation, who it affects, you traumatizing 1 million people now, a group of 1 million people. And it's just like, that's how easy it is to pass on those things and keep getting people back to that state. And I feel like when it comes to us, we constantly keep putting ourselves in reminders of what either triggers us or just doesn't do us any justice at all. So that's why I said, go get it. Go do your research. Find out if it's for you. Yeah. I think that glasses takeoff was a little dramatic, but yeah. Go find out if that's for you. Damn, I realized with this mic, I don't even move my hands that much. But you'll figure out if it's for you. I'm gonna go into the portion where I kind of talk about mine. I don't know how deep into it I'm going to, but yeah. So I had a close family member that started going to therapy and would always, kind of push me into going. And not push as in a bad push, but like pushes and like, hey, I think it'd be really beneficial. Like, I've been going through it. It's been getting me through some stuff. And, just, I was stuck in my ways of, no, I'm not going to go. It's not going to benefit me. It's not something I want to do right now. Like, I don't have enough time for it. And then like, as a kid, I grew up thinking that was for crazy people. That was for suicidal people. That was for people that just, just didn't function right, or had something a little wrong with them, or, stuff like that. I didn't realize that at the end of the day, therapy, you can talk about anything. You can have nothing wrong with you and have a therapy session and just have a good conversation. Did not know that. Did not know any of that. Mom, the person that explained it to me, was telling me they were just having these good conversations on good days. Some days they'd have a bad day, and it kind of make them understand why they were having a bad day, and just keep it in the back of my mind. Then I kind of had a little breakdown around maybe 2019, 2020. Just had a lot of stuff going on. That time span of 2018 to 2020, I think I got in 2 to 3 near death accidents where I wasn't driving, and it just kind of, I don't know, I was just kind of in a bad spot. I was in a really, really bad spot and just didn't know what to do, didn't know, anything about therapy and psychiatrist and, that whole thing. I already didn't like dealing with Kaiser for pain stuff anyway, so I didn't want to go through all that. I think it was one day I was just like, you know what? Let me just go in. Let me go in and see what they talking about. Yeah, mind you, I just went in for a car accident. Knees was feeling bad, and doctor just asked me, just like, how's your mind doing? I was like, I mean, I'm all right. Had me fill out this paper, and I'll never forget it. She had me fill out this paper, walked out the room, came back in the room, looked at the paper, and looked at me and was like, wow, I never imagined you were like that. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And she was like, well, I never imagined like you felt down like that, like you had depression like that. You came in here so, like bubbly and, talkative and things like that. And I told her with a dead straight face, I was like, I've been doing that for years. I know when to do that when I'm not feeling good. I know I can't walk in here and just, be mad. And it kind of just blew her mind. And the one thing I don't like, and this is why I feel like people need to educate themselves when it comes to things like this, like therapy and working with psychiatrists. And that's why I believe we need to have more of our representation in there, because, first thing doctor does is, well, do you want to do antidepressants? Have not seen a psychiatrist, have not seen a therapist, have not seen a medical health professional or mental health professional. I've seen a medical health professional. Medical health professional, if any physician care tries to prescribe you medication without going to a psychiatrist first, deny it. You got to wait first. Wait to see somebody that specializes in that, because that's what they're going to give you off the bat. And it can hit or miss. It could mess with your liver. It can, it can incite different things to go on with your body. It's no. You want to make sure you're getting either the right stuff for you, or you can find a natural alternative to get that done. So, there's either or. I don't blame either side. Natural alternatives are good. Medicine works for some people that, really need it. So, I don't have a stand. I'm not going to say don't take medicine. I'm not going to say don't not take medicine, but I just feel like it's either way. I've personally myself, I've been on both ends. I took medicine. I got off of medicine. I feel fine since I've got off medicine. I feel like I deal with a lot better since I've actually started therapy. It's just more of your preference, more of what you feel, and not every situation is the same, because we all deal with different things. So, a doctor might tell you something completely different. Yeah. So, we're going from, I seen the first psychiatrist. She sent me an appointment to the first psychiatrist. I went into the psychiatrist, and we started going through tests, and I'm getting a diagnosis. He's kind of 50-50. He's like, all right, let me send you to another one. Let me send you to another specialist, because we have a clinic where they specialize in this type of thing. I'm like, okay, go over there. Says the same thing. The primary care doctor is just like, wow, I never imagined you feel like this on the inside. And that's when they prescribed me medicine. So they prescribed me some pretty strong medicine. And first day I took it, they told me to take it at night. I instantly went to sleep. I would say it felt good to actually sleep for one night, then kind of start taking the medicine for months. I felt a little difference until adversity really hit, and then that was the real test. I felt like I was still getting angry. It just took me a lot faster to get there. And I think that's at that point, that's when I kind of was on the teeter-tottering of quitting, doing the medicine because at the end of the day, it just didn't it didn't it didn't do what I thought it was gonna do, and all they were gonna kept doing was just kept upping the doses and changing my medicine, and I just didn't want to have a bad reaction or anything like that to happen. So I had in the kind of midst of that when I was getting medicine, I was on medicine for a while. I moved. I moved out of state, and then I ran out of my prescription and just decided not to do it no more. So after I got done doing that, I started noticing the difference. I was losing some weight when I was taking the medicine. My appetite wasn't really there. I just felt like the days where I wasn't mad, I was real kind of monotoned ish as a personality, and I personally didn't like it myself. But like I will continue to say, whether you think medicine is for you, you don't think medicine's for you, that's your decision. That's something you got to do research on yourself. I just feel like I could handle it without, and I've been without medicine for probably about a year now. Probably about a year now, and dealing with my anger a lot better. Um, except when it comes to 2K and Mr. Keep It Been Outdoors is the problem for my anger when it comes to 2K. So I'm gonna have him on the show one day. Y'all gonna meet him because I shout him out almost every episode. But yeah, he's the key to all my anger right now. Because as soon as we get on that game, as soon as we get into that third quarter and I'm up 10, and then he just magically he up 15 now, that's source of all my anger right now. But I got two intact controllers, so I'm good. I haven't threw one yet. But yeah, anyways, we got off to getting off of medicine. I had just moved to Colorado, been here for about a year, dealing with some issues at work, and kind of started to feel back where I was at when I was back in Cali. I kind of start having those same feelings, and just experiencing that again, not to that extent, but it was just kind of it was a different mental kind of feeling. It was it was kind of what I remember from back then, but it was just a little bit more intense. I was having intense headaches and stuff like that, and um, my girlfriend, she was like, hey, like I think therapy would kind of benefit you, and I was like, I've been down that route before. They kind of messed me up. Da 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 da. I missed a little part to the story. So the part where they actually assigned me a therapist, the therapist kept calling out. This was like in the middle of COVID, and we were supposed to have Zoom calls, and he called out. He called out every day. I kid you not. I'd have an appointment on Tuesday. I would call in Tuesday, be on Zoom. They'd give me a call. Hey, Mr. Jones. Yeah, he called out. Next week, he on vacation. Week after that, he caught COVID. Week after that, he on vacation again. I was just like, well, when does he do his job? When did he do his job? Like, because at this point, y'all either need to give me another therapist or I'm out. And you know what? My decision was I was out. So, fast forward back to, about this year. Like I said, she suggested I should go to therapy. I was still hesitant because of the bad experience I had messing around with Kaiser. She had highly suggested I, find me a black therapist. And I, actually like as soon as she said it, I was just like, you know what, I enjoy that idea. I enjoy, having somebody that looks like me that's gonna be on the phone with me and everything like that. And went on this website, not advertisement, went on BetterHelp. There's another website out there, I think it's All Black Therapist or something like that. But like I said, do your research. Went on those websites, put in my insurance, put in what I needed them to specialize in, And who did I want? So I found my black therapist. She's amazing. She holds me very accountable, and I know a lot of people don't like being held accountable, but hey, she holds me very accountable, and it's been a growing cycle ever since. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard as hell. Like there's days where I am mad at my therapist, and I will tell her I'm mad at her, and she's just like, "Well, you gotta suck it up, Buttercup. Like, I told you what I told you. Like, but she will make me understand why I'm mad. But just at the end of the day, she will sit there and ask me, "Well, am I not right?" And I can't sit there and tell her no, because I know at the end of the day it's right. I just don't want to hear it. But that's my experience with therapy. Yeah, it's been a journey. Like I said, it's not easy. That's why a lot of people do it when they feel like they have no other option. I feel like us as a community, we need to get on it before we have no option, because at no option, you either think of death or therapy. And at the end of the day, when I had to make that decision, that sometimes that's where I felt I was at. I need to either go do this or it's gonna be that. And sometimes you gotta have that real conversation with yourself. And my biggest thing for me was, I always hear all these millionaires, billionaires. The first thing they said, as soon as I got money, I got a therapist. As soon as I opened my business, I got a therapist. Watch these celebrities start talking about how many of them have therapists. Your favorite celebrity probably has a therapist on payroll. That's their only therapist. Pretty sure of it. There's not too many of them, because I know y'all probably like rappers and shit like that, but there's probably some rappers here and there that probably got therapists now that they're older. Start doing your research, because most of the people that keep their therapists keep money too. But not everything's about money. But if you're one of those people where everything's about money, look at how many people got money and got a therapist on payroll, and you come holla at me. But yeah, nah. I feel like you know the successful people go to therapy. I feel like that's part of your success is being the best version of you can. And I mean, you can do that without therapy. Don't get me wrong, but it's always good to have as much resources as you can to become the best person you could be, because you don't know what you can unlock. So that's what I figured out about going to therapy. As soon as I start going to therapy, I started unlocking skills I didn't even know I had. Like I built the patience again. Like I can actually sit in the McDonald's line without getting too mad. Like, because there's a big ass line, I can sit in the in and out line and be perfectly fine. People honking at me, and the line being long, and now the cheese all over the bag, the fries then spilled on the floor. Like, I don't even get mad at stuff like that no more. I kind of laugh now. But whew, when I was like 20, fries spill on the floor, man, I have a whole tantrum. It used to be crazy, and but like I said, you just live, you learn. Not saying I've been going to therapy for like 5 years, but like I've been going for maybe about 6 months now, and a lot of things have changed. Thought process, clear mind. It's worked with some of the mental diagnoses I've had. I'm not going to disclose them. I think that's a little personal to me, but it's helped with some of those and understanding those and being able to maintain them. And um, you know, if you want to have a more personal conversation, you can DM me. Uh, you know, start hitting me in the comments and stuff like that. I think, like I said, at some point, open up a Discord, Patreon, or something like that, where y'all can have access, talk to me, and everything like that. Because I want y'all to feel like family. So that's why I'm having this conversation with y'all. Because family need to go to therapy. I talk to my friends all the time about therapy, and they're half and half. Like, but I'm always gonna be an advocate. You gonna see me on all these episodes, even after this one. I'm just introducing y'all to it, but I'm always gonna talk about therapy. I'm always gonna talk about, man, this person could have used therapy, because like I'm gonna talk about some common, or not common, but current events that go on, and kind of drop some tidbits. So, get yourself right, man. There's too much going on in this world not to try to get yourself right, because gas prices going up, cost of living going up, bills is going up, utilities. Like there's a lot of governmental stress that is getting put on everybody right now. And I'll tell you right now, it's hard to deal with whoever you are, whether you making 100,000 a year or you making 20,000 a year. It's hard to deal with. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got. Like it's still gonna be a stress that the overall economy is going up. So it's just like, what tools do you have to deal with that stress? What skills do you have not to regress or go backwards, or for my alcoholics and my people like that, like that helps and that gets you through some of these tough situations, because it's not like you have factors that you can control that are adding stress to you. These are factors you cannot control. Like, yeah, you vote and everything like that, and you're doing your part. Or if you don't vote, hey, I don't judge. But whichever side you own, like that's a stress you can't really control, because yes, you can have a voice, but at the end of the day, it's things that are going to constantly change and evolve, and just constantly be a revolving door for stress for the people that are on the lower, mid and the lower upper level. So that's always going to be there. So what tools do you have to get to it? And like I said, for us, we got to start using therapy, and we got to start not convincing, but we have to start having a conversation about putting more emphasis on trying to get psychology degrees, social work degrees, stuff where we need it. We need it in that area bad. Like, instead of not working, we need it in those areas bad. And there's a lot of jobs open. I've been working in this field for about 2 years now. There's a lot of jobs open. A lot. But look like the time getting kinda long. So I just wanted to make sure check in with y'all. Make sure y'all good. Take y'all 3 deep breaths real quick. It was kind of rough conversation, but take you a couple breaths. Think about it today. If you ain't gonna take anything from that, think about it. Research. If anything, go find you a YouTube video about it. Go watch people go through it. There's a lot of videos of people going through, our people, other people, the difference between therapists. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube where they express why they're being successful and how it changed their life, and just go do your research. If you don't do anything, do your research, and you make your decision from there. But from there, I just wanna kind of thank y'all for giving me this time, this space to be able to talk to y'all, be able to let y'all know about my experience, as well as how I feel that people that look like me should do their research on whether they do it or not. Like, I'm not a judge on either or. I'm not biased because I go. Like, it's only been a year. I'm not all the way sure, but I'm definitely on the optimistic side. So I will continue. I will continue to keep talking to my friends about it, my family, my new friends in this ice chest, and just keep striving to be better, whether you going or not. Keep striving to be better. I just want y'all to be great. Whether you a cube, you a square, or you a circle, I want you to be straight. So that's another episode. I appreciate y'all listening. Like I said, follow on TikTok. We finna get the Instagram right. Let me know any other socials you want me to put things on. Let me know if you want these videos on anything else you guys watch. I know I'm on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. Let me know what y'all want. Let me know what topics y'all want me to go over. But other than that, keep you guys' head up. Do what y'all need to do, and I'll talk to y'all next episode. Peace.
And that's another episode of Cube Speaks. Thank you guys for the support so far. This is just the beginning. We just gonna keep rising and rising and growing and growing. And follow the pages. We got YouTube, Instagram. We're gonna get a TikTok. We're gonna get everything that you need. Whatever social media platform you own, we own it. I'm gonna pop that somewhere up on the screen, maybe on the end credits. I don't know. I don't give a damn. But make sure you tell your people, tell your mama, tell your cousins, tell your aunties, tell everybody. Cause we gonna do something with this. Well, see y'all in the next episode. Peace.